And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Scorpio for 2021. I have to say, folks, this is not going to be the easiest year on record. There's going to be a number of challenges coming up, for some of you particularly. Others of you will thrive and prosper. Let's have a look at some of the fine details first of all before giving a proper synopsis. The Scorpio new moon will be on the 4th of November. This suggests that any of you born around the 3rd, 4th, 5th of November, the more you get into your birthday time, the more of the opportunity for a fresh start, a launch, a new beginning, which for many of you, which will be ready for it by that time, is looking very good. So actually I'm really favoured by that new moon in Scorpio. I think it's a really good place for you, and it's a good time as well. The full moon in Scorpio will be on the 27th of April, and it's going to particularly affect those of you born in the last couple of days of October. It's not a challenging one. It should be quite positive, and I don't see any sign of real issues here, but it is going to require a great deal of change. If you're trying to hang on for grim life to old patterns, then you're really going to find that things are going to get upset. Whereas if you dance with it and just go with the flow and take advantage of changes around that full moon on the 27th of April, then a lot of things are going to work in your favour. Mercury is going to move into Scorpio on the 5th of November and stay there until the 24th. So this isn't going to be a problem. It's going to be a brief period in the middle of November where you're going to be able to communicate better than normal, where letters and emails will arrive, where travel plans will work out, and where your thinking should be sharper than normal. Mid-November, great time for contracts and agreements. Venus will move into Scorpio on the 10th of September and stay there till the 7th of October. And this is a great time for just generally feeling good about yourself, hopefully having made the changes that are going to be required of you by them. Mars is going to move into Scorpio on the 30th of October and then stay there until the 13th of December. So this tells me that the whole of November and the first couple of weeks of December are going to be pretty action-packed. Now this can be action-packed in terms of chaos and disruption and unpredictability and drama, and here I'm particularly looking at the time incidentally around the 17th of November. Or it can be a time of being projective and assertive and dynamic and getting things done and using your physical energy in a way that's great for self-development. So it's either going to be confrontation and arguments and disagreements, or it's going to be digging the garden, home decorating, getting down the gym. It's up to you, but the energy will be there. So you either use it or you lose it. And this, I repeat these dates, this will be from about the 30th of October through to the 13th of December, and this will impact upon all of you. Now, the challenging stuff. Uranus is in your opposite sign. And for those of you born around the 30th of October through to the 2nd of November, this last year has been no joke. There's been a number of challenging, unexpected and unpredictable circumstances breaking forth that have really caused you to make major changes. Either you've made major changes or major changes have happened. You've either acted or reacted. And this, I'm afraid, is still the case and will continue to stay this way for those of you born in the last couple of days of October and the first couple of days of November until we're into April of this year. After this, Uranus then moves into dealing with the lives of people born around the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th of November. And here there's going to be, the more you get into April onwards, the more you're going to recognise that change is inevitable. And you will either make change happen or changes will happen to you. You will either act or you will react. And if you react, then you're going to be the puppet on the string, playing catch up, trying to adapt to changes that are happening around you and probably feeling quite disrupted and all over the place as a result. And if you act, it's going to make you feel a little bit scared because you're going to be stepping into new territory and breaking new ground. But at least it will be innovative and original, and you'll be taking a few chances and it'll be opening up new futures as opposed to staying with old patterns that are basically past their sell-by date and have reached the end of their shelf life. So if you're born in the first week of November, then the more you get into April, the more changes are going to become more and more apparent, and you will make changes, or they will happen to you. It's up to you how you work with this. Add to this that Saturn is going to be squaring the Sun of quite a few of you. Now, Saturn will square the Sun of those of you born in late November. Those of you born from the start of Scorpio through to about the 28th of November, well, the first 6 weeks of 2021 are going to be a really challenging time. And you're going to be banging your head against a brick wall, so stay low. Don't come out fighting. Stay with your head below the parapet and just put your nose to the grindstone and stay quiet. And by mid-February, this pressure is off. However, from mid-February onwards to the end of the year, Saturn is then going to impact big time on the lives of those of you born from about the 29th of October onwards through to the 6th of November. I said something a couple of minutes ago when I said November, December, and I should have said October, November. Please make necessary adjustments. That's the Uranus will be affecting those born from the 3rd to the 6th of November, not December. Saturn is going to impact on those born from the 29th of October through to the 6th of November. And there's going to be either circumstances outside your control holding you back, blocking and restricting you, or you're going to be choosing to live within your own limitations rather than those pushed on you by others, and doing everything the hard way, knowing that by doing that you're putting in place roots and foundations which should then act as a basis for the rest of your life, or at least the next 30 years, whichever is the shorter. But Saturn and Uranus are both going to be impacting the lives of those of you born on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th of November. And this is going to be particularly strong over the period of late April to early December. And there are going to be one or two critical points here when things are going to get a little bit messy. And I'm particularly looking at the end of the first week of August. It'll be very easy for you to let your buttons get pushed at this time. If you're born at the start of November, you have to let change happen. You have to dance with it, because the alternative is staying exactly the same as you've always been, and then you'll get stuck in ruts which you're going to have real trouble getting out of. Whereas if you make the changes, it will work with you. Jupiter, yes, Jupiter will square the Sun of all of you at some stage between early January and early May. But a square from Jupiter to your Sun, hell, you might put on a bit of weight for a couple of weeks. Things might get a little bit over the top, but it'll be a storm in a teacup. Much more favourably, I'm looking at Jupiter affecting those of you born at the start of Scorpio, 23rd, 24th, 25th of October, over the period of mid-May to late July. There's going to be opportunities for holiday, fun, adventure, growth and self-development. That's lovely. But for all of you, well, wait a minute, Neptune and Pluto. Neptune's dancing with you. Neptune's dancing with those of you born on the 13th, 14th, 15th of November. You're the people who are going to really benefit. Your intuition, your imagination, your creative output, your sensuality, it's all getting ramped up. And Pluto is certainly going to be dancing with those of you born around the 16th, 17th, 18th of November. If you're one of these people, then psychologically you're looking in a brilliant state over 2021. You're going to be seen by people around you as becoming ever wiser, more solid, dependable, trustworthy. It is primarily those of you born at the start of November who are coming under the biggest of challenge, and I'm particularly looking at this period around early August as being the most difficult time. You have to make changes, folks. You can't avoid it, because if you don't make the changes will happen to you. Big thank you to all of those Scorpios who have helped me over this last year. And I wish you all the best over 2021, and I will continue to do my best to be of service. Thanks, folks. Bye.